So we can start with that. Here we go. And you can hear me okay over this music?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Lovely. So let's begin just standing with our weights here. And you can just before we start, find an area where you can do some work up against a bare wall. So we'll do that right after this little weight series here. Perfect. Good. So just drop the arms down by your sides here. Feet can be about sit bone width apart. And let's take a breath here, shrugging the shoulders up towards the ears. Inhale and exhale, soften. Inhale, shrug. And exhale, soften. Inhale, shrug. And exhale, soften. Inhale, shrug. And exhale, soften. You're going to bring the chin to the chest and you're going to roll the spine forward, letting the weight pull the spine in that stretch, bending behind the knees. Take a breath at the bottom here. Inhale. Exhale, begin to roll your way up to a standing position. One vertebrae at a time. We're going to sweep the arms up in front of the chest. Inhale. Exhale, circle the arms down, and then roll your way down the spine again. Letting the arms hang off the back, bending the knees at the bottom. Stretch and roll your way back up the spine, and then taking an inhale to sweep the arms up. And exhale, circle back down. We'll do that once more, rolling the spine down, bending behind the knees, and stretch and pulling your way up. Let's take an arm circle again. So swinging the arms up with the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. Take another swing of the arms up and then bend your elbows, letting the weights drop back behind you. Keep your spine nice and upright and find the even distribution of weight onto your feet. So maybe let's just rock a little from side to side here. And imagine there are 4 corners of the feet, so 2 under the forefoot, 2 at the back of the heel, and find a spot to settle on those 4 feet. Stretch the arms up, bend down and back, and as you go for these little arm presses, let's focus on our feet, staying grounded and rooted through those 4 corners, and 2 more. And 1, we're going to drop the weights back behind the chest. Take an inhale and lift your heart center up to the ceiling, letting the weights drop back and open and stretch the body. Exhale, return your spine, and then stretch the arms up, bending the arms again. Inhale, stretch, so we're opening up the chest. Exhale, bring the chest forward. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, return. Go for 2 more here and keep your weight on your feet, on those 4 corners of the feet as you lift the chest up and return, stretching the arms, bending the arms. So it's all coming from the upper back and shoulders, stretching, returning, lifting. And then this time we're going to lower the arms down in front of the hips here, going for some easy arm scissors. So 1 arm up, 1 arm down. 1 arm up, 1 arm down here. And then same thing, focus on your feet. So it's very easy to kind of rock and let the momentum of our legs carry the arms through the swings. Different experience if we keep the feet nice and stable and grounded, the spine nice and stable and strong, and then a little bit more core activity can happen. Imagine you're reaching the pinky fingers away from the floor. Pinky fingers reach up and away from the floor, and we'll do 2 and 2 and 1 And one, we're gonna circle the arms out to the side, hugging the weights into the chest, and then sliding the right leg out to the side here, taking a nice little deep hinge through that left hip, reaching that left arm up. We're gonna tip over towards the right here. Just with this arm, we're gonna go up, inhale, exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, opening up that side body. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Return your shoulders and then take a little bit of weight into that left foot to bring that right leg up to a little balance here. Holding, 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 going for some arm circles up and down. Inhale, circling up. Exhale, down. Inhale, nice strong spine. Exhale, circle. Inhale, lift. Exhale, circle. Then let's replace the foot down, sliding through the opposite leg. And then taking the right arm up over that shoulder into a side bend. Swinging that arm down to the hip. Up and over to the side. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. We'll do two more. Lower, two and lift. Two and lower, lower and lift. Lift, returning the shoulders back upright, and then taking that leg out to the side, up towards the chest, tucking those toes to hug the opposite knee, reaching both arms up above the head, and then circling down towards the hips. Inhale, lift. Exhale, circle. Inhale, lift. Exhale, circle. Inhale, lift. Exhale, circle. One more, lift, circle, and lower your feet down, taking a nice glide of the shoulders up and gliding the shoulders back down. We're gonna face the wall now. I'm gonna demonstrate just using my pole here, but I'm gonna put one foot up against the wall. So if you're standing facing your wall, just on one side, and then really push your toes into your wall. And feel how that kind of activates the core. Okay, from here, we're going to do the same upper back stretch as before. So bringing the weights up overhead and then bringing them down the back. You're going to inhale, push your foot into the wall and lift the chest back and up. And then exhale, returning here, taking an arm stretch up and down. Push your toes into the wall as you lift and return and stretch and bend and lift and return and stretch and bend. One more to lift, return and stretch and bring the arms down in front of the hips, switching sides here. Taking the other leg up to the wall, pushing those toes forward like you're trying to kick through the wall, lifting your arms up and then back. So simultaneously, as we're opening up the front of the body, we're pushing the toes into the wall and then returning the spine, stretching the arms up and then down. So almost like you're trying to kick through the wall as you open the heart center, returning, stretching, bending. Inhale, breathe. Exhale, return. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, fold. And one more, lift and return and stretch and bend. And then relaxing your arms down, standing on 2 feet here. You're just gonna take your weights down away from the floor, and you're gonna push both hands into your wall, splaying the fingers out like so. I'll demonstrate here so you can see my back. And then just start to walk your legs back, pushing your arms forward. So now like your arms are trying to push through the wall. And then you can start to bend your knees and sink your hips back, opening up the front of the shoulders and the ribs and the hips. Taking 3 deep breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Begin to curl. So rolling your hips under, rounding the spine, rounding the shoulders, dropping the head. And then you can walk yourself forward, coming up to your wall again. Without the weights, we're going to come back to a single leg stance. So bringing your foot forward to kick into the wall, standing nice and upright on that leg. And we're just going to swing both arms up. Inhale, lift up and back. Taking your hands behind the head, breathing here. Inhale, exhale. And then you're going to round the top of your head forward, closing the shoulders, closing the elbows, rounding towards the knee here. And then one more, we're gonna open the elbows, lift the chest up, reach your arms up, lengthening open the front of the body, circle those arms down, and then return, going to the other side, stepping that leg forward to kick into your wall. And then inhale, swing the arms up, exhale, open the chest, hands behind the head, take another breath here, inhale. Exhale, open the chest, and then start to round forward. So you're going to round the head forward, round the shoulders forward, round the elbows forward, rolling through the spine, and then open your elbows, open your chest, lift your heart center, reaching those arms up overhead. Exhale, circle, bringing the foot down. Reach your hands for your wall again, and then walk your feet back. Take one more stretch here, opening up the front of the body. You can bend your knees and let those sit bones widen and expand. And then inhale, exhale, curl in through that cat stretch. Inhale, exhale, arch through the spine, opening the heart center. 2 more, inhale, exhale to curl, 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 dropping the head. Inhale, exhale, arch, opening the front of the chest and shoulders. And one more to curl through the spine. We're going to walk our feet forward towards our wall here. And then you're going to turn to face away from your wall. Okay, now you're going to lean against your wall. And you are going to walk your feet forward, coming to a little wall squat. That's it. So in your wall squat here, try a little experiment. I want you to tuck your bum under and grip your toes, feeling where we feel the work. And now relax your glutes, relax your tailbone, let your sit bones point straight down. Relax your feet, let them spread into the mat, and think of your inner thighs pulling back and in, hugging towards the pelvis. Holding the wall squat here to heat up the legs. You can think a little bit of belly pulling back to spine, but not just with that bum tuck, right? So we want those sit bones to splay outward and widen, pointing down to the floor. We're gonna hold 3, hold 2, hold 1, sliding up your wall again. We're only gonna go halfway down, maybe more so of like a third of the squat. And then we're gonna pedal through the feet. So watching my feet here, I'm gonna go from left foot to right foot, from left foot to right foot. Thinking of these thigh bones pulling back and in towards the back of the pelvis, relaxing the shoulders and the necks, heads just floating on top of the shoulders, pedaling and pumping through the feet in 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, and 1. Bringing those legs and heels down, and then just stretching the legs. You can walk your feet back underneath you, coming up to standing here, just stepping away from your wall with your hands on your hips. We're going to start to bounce the heels and pretend you're on a trampoline. So whatever weight drops down, it comes up off the floor in a bouncy ball kind of effect. So we're trying to find that same bounce with the heels, just letting the arms relax. Bounce, 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 bounce. We'll do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax your heels, bend your knees, and then roll the spine forward just halfway. Hanging the arms forward like ragdoll arms. We're going to start to bounce the knees and let the upper body drape forwards over the legs, almost like there's a big beach ball between your chest and your thighs, and you're just bouncing over that beach ball. Bounce, 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 bounce. Let those arms hang and drop, hang and drop, hang and drop. In 3, 2, 1. Take a breath here at the bottom. Slowly roll your way up. You might feel a little dizzy, so just be very slow with this. Inhale, exhale, coming up to stand. Good. Let's come down to the mat here. We're going to set up in a kneeling position. So continuing the work to open up the deep front line of the body in through our shoulders, but adding a little bit of core support with it. So we're going to come up to a kneeling position, and we're going to sweep the arms up and back, letting that heart center lift up, that sternum lift up. From here, you're going to swing the arms forward and imagine you're doing a roll down, keeping the hips lifted over the knees, curling through the spine, like you're doing a cat stretch until your hands arrive at the mat. You're going to unfold the spine through flat back. Hinge through your hips. Sink your hips all the way back to the heels. Taking a breath here. Inhale. Exhale, roll your way up to a seated position, lifting those hips up over the knees. We're going to swing the arms up again. Inhale, lift the heart center, lift the arms. Exhale, swing the arms forward, and then like a waterfall, rolling forward, forward, forward till the hands arrive at the mat, releasing your hips, lengthening the head forward as you fold through the knees, letting the tailbone round, and then ripple through the spine, rolling up through the spine, lifting those hips up. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Now think of your chest lifting up and back, so it's not going through the hips. And then bring your chest forward, belly button to spine, curling, rounding through that back as you bring the hands towards the floor, opening up the spine, sinking those hips back to those heels, rippling through the body to lift up into that kneeling position to do one more sweep of the arms. Inhale. Exhale, rolling forward, rounding the spine, hands towards the mat, lengthen out through flat back, and hinge through the hips here. Let's just take a moment in that deep hip hinge, letting the chest fall to the floor, letting the forehead rest onto the mat. Feeling the sides of the ribs expand as you breathe. And then roll your way up to a seated position here. Lift yourself up to a kneeling position, and then take your left leg in front into a lunge. From here, start to fire that back glute. So imagine your glute is like a suction cup pulling the thigh bone back into the hip. We're going to swing the arms up as you hinge forward into the hip, and then swing the arms down as you push back out of this. So we're not just letting the thigh bone collapse into that hip. Think of the opposition of the glute activating to pull the thigh bone back as you hinge and reach forward, and then returning through here. And again, activating the glute to pull the thigh bone back into the hip as you reach those arms forward, and then exhale, return. We'll do this one more. So we're trying to make this an active stretch. So it's targeting that whole front line from hip through to that shoulder. And on this next one, we're gonna keep going forward. Circle the arms around to the side to bring them down to the floor on either side of our front leg. That's it. Taking a couple of breaths here. And then you're gonna tuck your back toes under, taking a runner's lunge, but then step your front foot back to find your plank position here. Touch your knees down, keeping your spine really straight. Exhale, stretch. Inhale, little touch of the knees. Exhale, stretch. So imagine the knees are just folding. Hips stay back in that hover. Inhale, tap. Exhale, stretch. One more time, inhale, tap. Exhale, stretch. And then you're gonna lift your hips up and back, finding that pike position or downward dog position here. Lift your heels up, bring your knees down. Send your hips back to your heels. And then roll your way up to a seated position. Lift yourself up through a kneeling position. And then take your right leg in front to step into that lunge. So cueing into that left glute, activating the left glute as you swing the arms forward and sink into the hip. Inhale, exhale, pushing back from that front foot. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, return. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, return. Don't forget about that back glute. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, return. Inhale, forward. Exhale, return. And on this next one, we're going to reach the arms down to the mat. Circle the arms wide, bringing the hands on either side of that front foot. Taking a few breaths here. And one more breath. Tucking those back toes under, finding a big lunge, and then stepping that front foot to meet the back foot in a plank position. Now keep the spine reaching forward and back as you touch those knees down. Inhale and exhale. Stretch. Inhale, tap. Exhale, stretch. Inhale, tap. Exhale, stretch. Inhale, tap. Exhale, stretch. Lift those hips up and back. Taking a breath here with those heels sinking down towards the floor. Sitting bones widening and opening. And walk your feet forward. We're going to come to a seated position. Moving through some core work here. So finding your seated position, sliding yourself right to the front of your mat. And then roll your way down, one bone at a time, sliding those heels underneath you here. And let's take a breath once we arrive at the floor. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, so in our core series here, we're gonna set our low core. Deepening belly to spine, we're going to lift the knees up one at a time to our tabletop position here. Just finding that deep fold through the hips, fold through the knees, and then taking your arms up over your chest. Reaching opposite arm to leg. Right leg forward, left arm back, and return. Right arm back, left leg forward, and return. So we're still opening those front lines of the body, but adding some stability with it. So we'll do inhale, stretch, exhale, fold, inhale, stretch, exhale, fold, inhale, stretch, exhale, fold. Two more, in and out, and in and out. You're gonna bring your hands down to the mat, and you're gonna touch your toes down. Inhale, exhale, lift those toes up. Inhale, touch those toes down. Exhale, lift those toes up. So when your toes lift, think of a fold through the back of the knees, widening those hips. Inhale, touch. Exhale, lift. Inhale, touch. Exhale, lift. Last one. Inhale, touch. Exhale, lift. You're going to stretch the legs up, curling forward, taking the right leg forward, left leg down, and then switch, and then switch. Keep going from side to side here. Inhale, exhale, switch. Staying in that curl, and kick, kick, and kick, kick. Good. We'll do 4, 4 and 3, 3 and 2, 2 and 1 and 1. Bring both legs up through the middle, curling forward, and then reach your arms down, pushing your arms down to the mat, lowering your legs down in 3, 2, 1. Lower your spine back down, going for some roll-ups now. Let's do arms reaching back to start, feeling the front chains of the body open. Inhale, exhale, roll your way forward, curling, deepening the abs, and then let's go through spine stretch forward. So for spine stretch forward, pull your belly back as you reach the chest over those legs. So our spine is the longest possible. Roll your way up, and then roll your way back down. So hips rolling under, reach your arms back as you roll down, and we'll go for this again. Inhale, arms. Exhale, curl. And then spine stretch forward. Reach, reach, reach to those toes as the belly reaches back. Let's find those sitting bones, rolling our way up through our sitting bones to roll back down. Again, reaching those arms up and back. Inhale and exhale. Going for this 3 more times. Inhale, arms. Exhale, curl. Deepen belly back to spine as you stretch those arms towards the feet. And then roll and stack your spine upright to seated to roll back down again. Inhale, exhale, reach those arms back, 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 back. And then reach, burning onto the mat. 2 more times here. Inhale, arms. Exhale, curl. Inhale, exhale, curl, and reach over those thighs, rolling back down. Inhale, exhale, reach your arms back behind you as you continue to roll your way down. Beautiful. And then we're going to roll our way up to a seated position. Inhale, curling, exhale, beautiful. Forward spine stretch over the thighs. And then roll your way up to seated position. This time widening the legs a little bit, so they're shoulder width apart. And then going into some rotation. So let's bring our arms out to the side here. And we're going to twist our shoulders over towards the right. You're going to roll your way forward over that right leg, reaching that left arm past the right ankle. Breathing here at the bottom. Inhale. Exhale. Rolling your way up. Now before you change sides, we're going to take that left arm up and swing that right arm forward. And then you're going to lean back into that left arm, opening up the right ribs. Lift, lift, lift. And then bring that right arm down and swing that left arm forward like you're swimming forward to stretch over the leg. And then roll your way back up. We're going to have a chance to do this again on the other side. So you're going to turn your shoulders towards the left. Roll your way forwards, reaching past that left leg. Breathing here at the bottom. Inhale. Exhale, roll your way up. Stay in the rotation. You're going to swing that right arm forward and back. Left arm forward to lean back into that right arm. And then you're going to open and press the ribs forward, lifting the arm forward to stretch. And then slicing that arm forward, going for a swim up and over to stretch. Rolling your way back up. We're going to turn around to the other side and do this again. So it starts with a twist. Inhale. Exhale, we roll our way forward. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, release. Rolling your way back up. This front arm is going to swing forward and back. And then lean back into that left arm as you lift your right arm up and press those ribs forward, opening up the chin. And then swing your arm forward, swing the other arm forward, and stretch over the legs. And roll your way back up. We're gonna do this on the other side. Turning, inhale, exhale. Rolling forward, stretching over the legs. Inhale, exhale. Rolling your way up. Swinging this right arm forward and back. So you fall back into that arm, lifting your chest forward, lifting your ribs forward, stretch. And return. Sliding that arm forward and over top of the thigh. And rolling your way back up through the center. Good. Let's just tuck our knees in here. Sliding to the front of your mat. Giving yourself a big hug. Inhale, squeeze the knees into the chest. Exhale, going into some core work again. So you're gonna just tip off of those sit bones, letting the toes float up off the mat, rounding your spine. And we're gonna roll like a ball. So you're gonna roll to the tips of the shoulders and then roll up to balance. And roll to the tips of the shoulders. And then roll up to balance. We'll do 6 more here. Roll and balance. Exhale, roll and balance. Exhale, roll and balance. Exhale, roll and balance. 2 more. Exhale, roll and balance. Exhale, roll and balance. You're gonna cross your ankles, bring your hands forward, and then reach your legs back behind you in 4-point kneel. Good, good, good. Okay, on all fours here, we're gonna mobilize the hips from side to side. So you're gonna pretend like you have an animal tail that's nice and long, and your tail is gonna swing from side to side, going for these little side bends from right to left, from right to left, and then adding the head with it as well. So as your tail wags to the right, you're gonna push those left ribs open. And then as your tail wags to the left, you're gonna push those right ribs open. And tail wags to the right, pushing those left ribs open. And tail wags to the left, pushing those right ribs open. Then find your middle here. Going through a cat stretch, you're gonna round the spine. Pretend you have a hula hoop around your ribs that drops all the way down to the floor. And we're gonna trace our ribs along that hula hoop. So from this cat curl, we're gonna slide the ribs over to the right. And then it's like we're tracing the ribs along the inside of the hula hoop to bring the ribs down and around to the center, over to the left, and then pressing up through that cat stretch. Reversing the circle, you're gonna travel the ribs over to the left, sliding those ribs down through the center, over to the right, and then lifting those ribs up through the middle. 1 more each direction. Big circle of those ribs, right, down, left, and center, and left, down, and right, and up through the middle. Find your neutral spine, crown of the head reaching forward, tailbone reaching back, going through some hip hinges here. So bending the knees and floating the knees forward, and bending the knees and floating the knees forward. 2 more. Hinge and return, and hinge, and find neutral spine here. We're gonna slide the right leg back, left arm forward, and then switch. Left leg back, right arm forward, and switch. Going for a little walk here from side to side, but keeping your core connected to this, so we're not leaning to one hip and the other. We're keeping right through the center, focusing on that outward energy. And inhale, reach. Exhale, return. Inhale, reach. Exhale, return. Inhale, reach. Exhale, return. Inhale, reach. Exhale, return. We're going to take that left arm forward and right leg back, holding our balance here. We're going to tap and lift and tap and lift without dropping through that lower back. Keep the crown of the head reaching forward and lift and lower and lift. One more, lower and lift. You're going to keep the leg up, bring the arm down, flex the back foot. Turn the back leg out, kick it to the side, return, bring that foot down, and then from your arms, you're gonna lift the knee up and kick back to a three-legged dog. Sorry, that was a crash and a bang as I kick my equipment. Bring that knee forward, kick the leg to the side, and return, and then kick back and forward. Inhale. Exhale, inhale, and exhale, and swing and kick, return and kick, and return. Two more, kick, return and kick, return and kick, return. One more, three-legged dog, kicking back and returning to plank. So 2 feet together, holding here, 3. Holding here, 2. Holding here, 1 to bring those knees down, settling the hips back to the heels. Take 2 breaths in this shell pose here. And then roll your way up to a seated position, sliding your hands forward, coming to all fours, starting with swim prep. So on the other side now, we're going to do left leg back, right arm forward. And then spine nice and strong, hips nice and level. We're just going to tap the toe down and lift it up. Tap the toe down and lift it up. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lift. Nice. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lift. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lift. 2 more. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lift. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lift. Now bring your arm down. Your leg is going to kick to the side, tucking those toes under, and then lift your hips up and back as you kick and return. And side. Return and kick and return and kick. Replace the foot. Use your core to press back and return and kick. Return and kick. Return. 2 more. Breathing with it. On this next one, out of your 3-legged dog, you're going to bring your feet together, finding your plank position. Bringing your knees down, hugging your heels towards your hips. Push up slowly, lower down in 3, lower down in 2. Come all the way down in 1, relaxing your legs mat width apart here, bringing your hands right by your shoulders and turning your head towards the left. Good. Taking a breath here with your head turned towards the left and adding some rotation and extension. Okay, so from here, you're going to pick up the left shoulder and the head, opening up the left side of the spine, and then rotate towards the right, relaxing down. Lifting the right shoulder up with the head, rotating through the middle, and then around to the other side. Lifting up the left shoulder and the head, rotating through the middle. And we're just going to keep alternating from side to side. So we're peeling the spine away from the floor while rotating. Peeling the spine away from the floor. One more, peeling the spine away from the floor. And then you're just gonna settle with your head turned to the left. Take your hands, clasp them behind the back, letting your elbows soften forward. Bring your feet together. From here, we're gonna bend the knees, hug the heels in towards the seat. 3 pulses. 1, pulsing 2, pulsing 3. Toes touching down. You're gonna lift your head up, press your arms straight back, opening the chest. Nice. Turning your head to the other side, softening the elbows. Gather the glutes as you squeeze the heels. 1, squeeze the heels. 2, squeeze the heels. 3, slow stretch of the legs, pressing those arms back, lifting the chest forward and up. Turning to the other side. 3 pulses. 1, inhale. 2, inhale. 3, and then exhale, stretch those legs, reach those arms back, lifting the crown of the head forward and up. Last time, and 3 pulses. 1, pulsing 2, pulsing 3, stretching the legs, reaching the arms back. Now stay in this hover here, legs in parallel, eye line looking straight down. You're gonna slide your arms to your shoulders. You're gonna slide your arms up overhead and then start to kick, kick, kick. Kick, 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 kick. Going for a swim with those arms and legs. Keep your eye line focused down, but keep the energy reaching outward through your head, out through the tail, out through the toes. Kick, kick, kick for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower down to release the spine. You can slide your arms by your shoulders, bend your knees, float those hips back, and pause there for a stretch. Good. Let's roll our way up to the seated position. We're gonna finish with a couple of core exercises on our side. So let's start on the right side. I guess this is my left side. And you're going to lie all the way down with your arm extended along the mat. Toes pressing together and your hands on the floor like so. Good. Okay, from here we're gonna do little leg lifts. Lifting both legs up and down. Both legs up and down. Up and down. Up and down. And up and down. You're going to take your hand on top of your hip. You're going to lift the legs up. Now you're going to press into that bottom arm to lift into side bend. And then lower down out of this. Good. Find belly button to spine as you lift up through that side bend. Inhale, exhale, lower down. We're gonna add side bend with a twist. You're gonna come up into side bend, rolling onto that bottom hip, lifting the legs up to the chest, and then coming out of that slowly onto your side. Inhale, side bend, exhale, twist, pulling the thighs up to the chest. Inhale, exhale, rolling out of this. And again, inhale, side bend. Use your core as you rotate the hips back, lifting the chest towards the thighs, thighs towards the chest, and then coming out of this. Last time, inhale, exhale, rolling onto that hip, sliding the chest forward. Inhale, exhale to return. Good. From here, let's fold the knees in towards the chest, and then lift yourself up and around to the other side. That's it. So same thing on the other side. You can start with the leg work. Hands can come down onto the mat. And then 2 legs are gonna lift and lower. Lift and lower, using that bottom inner thigh to kick the top leg up. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. And lift and lower, taking your hand on top of your hip. You're gonna lift your legs up, push into the bottom arm to lift into side bend, and then lower down. Both together. Inhale, lift, exhale, return, and lift, And adding our twist with this, so we're gonna go from side bend to rolling that top hip back to lifting the chest up towards the legs, legs up to the chest, and then lower out of this. Inhale, exhale, roll onto that hip, lift, 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 find your core. Inhale, exhale, return. 2 more, side bend and twist, legs up to the chest, chest up to the legs. Inhale, exhale, return, don't give up, last one. And return, you're gonna bend your knees. Come up onto your hands, come up onto your knees and find your plank right away. Holding your plank here. Keep going, hold the plank, good. You're gonna tap the knees down, stretch, and then step your right leg forward. Finding a lunge, you're gonna lift your arms straight up, bring your arms straight down, finding your plank, tap your knees down, and stretch. Step forward with the left leg, lifting those arms up, inhale, and exhale, sliding your leg back to plank. Knees down, knees stretch, step forward with the right leg, big reach with those arms up and down, sliding that leg back, knees touch, knees stretch, taking that left leg in front, sliding up to your lunge, and return 2 more times. Knees touch down and stretch. Big step forward with that right leg, lifting up and down, stepping back. Knees touch, knees stretch. Big step forward with the left leg to lift the arms up and down. Finding your plank here, holding. 3, 2, lift those hips up and back on 1. Stretching, open those hips, let your heels drop down to the floor. Slowing that heart rate down. Walk your feet forward and walk your hands back to meet your feet. Let the head drop forward over those thighs. And then roll your way up to standing. Good. In standing here, just take a moment to collect your breath. Breathing, inhale. Breathing, exhale. And then just slide your right knee up to the chest, reaching those hands around the front of the thigh. Inhale, exhale, lower. And then the other side, lifting that knee up to the chest, taking your hands around the front of the knee. Breathing, inhale. Breathing, exhale. And soften the foot down. And take 1 roll down to finish. And rolling up. And let's just do 1 arm circle. Inhale, lift the arms up, float the chest up. And exhale, circle the arms down to your hips. And relax to finish there. Okay, everyone. Thank you for joining me this morning. I hope you have a great weekend. I think Sarai is back next week. So I feel like we've had lots of extra Pilates this month. It's been nice.
That felt good. My back was like, every so often would just pop, and I'm like,
You found some